Hey everybody, we're back here with another tier list video. This time we're going to be tackling purple and green from Israel's inheritance here. And again, I want to make a disclaimer here that these are just my opinions here. By no means do I have all the right ideas, especially for these purple warriors. I could be way off with some of the assessments I'm going to be giving them, but I'm just going to do my best based upon how I see the game. So yeah, let's talk about Abishai, Chief of 30. May take an OT purple weapon from deck or equip it to this card. If alone, may ban to a purple warrior or up to 2 equipped purple warriors. First thing that's standing out to me is I don't think there are a lot of heroes in Redemption that can ban to multiple heroes. So that's something to take note of. Banding in Redemption is really powerful. And if you're able to ban to multiple heroes that each do something, that could get you a lot of cards. My worry is that it might be a little bit slow, but it has potential. Has an ultra rare, it's supposed to be exciting. I also love the taking OT purple weapon from deck or equipping it. So how powerful this card's going to be is obviously going to be determined by what kind of weapons you're going to be putting him with. So it's hard to evaluate this guy in a vacuum. You know, if there's A tier, S tier weapons and A tier, S tier purple heroes, this guy's going to be S tier. But if there's not, he's going to be stuck with the highest power level of the weapons and supporting heroes. So I'm just going to put him, in A tier for now because he has all the markings of a good hero built in, card advantage, can help snowball a game. This is what I'm looking for when I'm looking for heroes. But yeah, now we got to figure out if the other heroes around him are any good. Shammah the Naharai. While equipped, negate characters except good warriors. You ban to Eleazar the Ahijah, or you may take David's Stronghold from deck. So my problem with this card, it doesn't really do anything if it's not equipped. And getting David's Stronghold from deck is okay. It's not great. Banding to Eliezer is okay. It's not great. Like if I'm trying to attack on turn 1, this is the best I can do with this guy, no weapons. I'm not super excited about my life. Negating characters is nice. I will say that. But I'm just not really excited about this card. It's going to be a C tier for me. There are so many evil characters running around with cannot be prevented in them. So oftentimes this guy's going to be doing nothing, and being only being able to ban to a specific hero, it's kind of rough. Like if you don't have Eliezer out, you have a bunch of other purple warriors out, and you want to continue the big banning chain, well, you're out of luck. So I'm just going to put him in C tier just because of how prevalent CBP evil characters are. But this guy could become a role player in purple decks if the Woman of Thebes becomes really strongly played. And so that you'll have to play this guy in order to even get a good attack against Woman of Thebes. So yeah, let's move on. Zelek the Ammonite. You may draw one or take a purple OT weapon from discard pile. If equipped, you may discard an evil card, except a character. Yeah, this card just seems like a worse version of Mary. And I know it's unfair to compare everything to Mary, but like, why would I play a purple deck with this guy when I can just play Mary? But I will just speak to the little positive things that this guy's going for. You attack, you get to draw a card or gain a purple weapon back that you used. And if things are going great, you can discard one of their evil cards that's not a character. So in the best case scenario, this guy can net you positive 2 cards, +1 for you, -1 for your opponent. So I like that in theory, but discarding an evil card, except a character, is not that strong of an effect in type 1 right now, just because of people are are very wary of playing anything that's not an evil character in their territory. There are so many effects like this running around that just negate evil cards in territory or remove them when the hero attacks. And it's just, you're not very incentivized to play a lot of evil fortresses right now. So yeah, this guy could do work against some of the local decks running around at your tournaments, but when you start running into the decks, the higher level players are going to be playing, those type of decks aren't going to be playing the evil cards in the territory, except characters. So this guy is like, okay, I guess. I'm just going to put him in C tier. Oops. They all look kind of the same. Is it just me or these guys look the same? Oh, gosh. I mean, look at this guy has the same hair, same beard, same hair, same beard, same hair, same beard. Yeah, they all look the same. I'm just going to say it. I don't shoot the baboony messenger, but they all look the same to some extent. All right, let's talk about Eliezer. While equipped, negate enhancements, except good weapons, may ban to Adino, may take well from David from deck. So this guy's kind of pairs with Shammah that we already looked at. And if you can get both of these together in battle, that's going to be really good. But so in order to get the combo, quote unquote combo off, you need this guy, you need Shammah, you need 2 weapons. That's 4 cards. 4 card combo for a CB and attack. So Why do you go to the trouble of doing all that when you can just attack with Benaiah? Yeah, you're gonna get well from David. Yeah, you're gonna get David's Stronghold, but this guy only requires 2 cards instead of 4, and the probability of getting all 4 of those cards together for your purple deck is gonna be pretty slow. So unfortunately, okay, I just can't rate these guys really high. They're just not that good. I'm just gonna say it. The strategy of putting weapons on your characters in order for your characters to do anything, it's a fundamentally flawed strategic plan, in my opinion, because you're opening yourself up for getting 2 for 1. So if like you put a weapon on your hero and your hero attacks and it dies, you just lose both cards instead of just losing 1. And you're going to be having to choose what to put in your deck as far as good enhancements. So you can either choose to put in battle winners, or you can either choose to put in these weapons. And the weapons that we're going to be looking at, they're not battle winners, let me tell you. And so that means you have to run both. You need your battle winners and weapons, because you can't just run no battle winners, I don't think. And so you're going to become front loaded on good enhancements, and that's not really where you want to be at, in my opinion, with Redemption. But you'd rather have more heroes than good enhancements. You'd rather have more evil characters than evil enhancements. Just the way the games of Redemption are playing right now in Type 1, your chances to play your enhancements are few and far between. So you get much more consistency by relying on strong characters than strong enhancements. And I'm a really big fan of heroes that can kind of create a whole battle winning environment by themselves. And all these heroes that we're looking at right now, they require something plus. They need this guy plus this weapon, and the reason I rated Abishai so high is because he gets the weapon. He enables himself basically, where all these other cards, they need a lot of help. They need some sort of card draw to go along with them to make them work. And yeah, so I'm just going to put this guy in C tier for consistency. But if I would say what's stronger in a vacuum, negating enhancements or negating characters, I feel like they're both equally bad. Because if you're in the purple deck, you're going to be attacking and banding heroes lots. And the cards that are going to be trying to stop you are cards like Scattered. And those are CBN cards. They're like, what's this guy gonna do? I don't know. I don't know. And again, I could be completely wrong here, but all right, in order to evaluate him fairly, we also have to take a look at for David. You may take an OT purple weapon from reserve. Your equipped OT human attacks, you may draw 1. So this is trying to help a deck building dynamic I talked about earlier, where you can't put so many weapons and good enhancements in your deck. So purple has a lot of ways to get your weapons out of your reserve. So the idea is you run maybe a couple weapons in the main deck, and then on turn 2 and turn 3, that's when the weapons can come out. And for David is a card that can help you do that. So that's one way I guess you could make the weapon theme work, is by putting a lot of the weapons in the reserve here and using cards like for David, or there's probably other purple cards that we're going to see here that take stuff from reserve. But I have a problem with it. It's a little slow. If you're waiting for all your heroes to come online on turn 2 and turn 3, one at a time, because you can only like superpower one of them if you're just getting one enhancement or one weapon per turn. So making one of your guys really good, I don't know. It just seems a little slow. But I do like this card. You can get, in theory, 2 cards per turn, which is nice. But yeah, have to wait till turn 2 to get the weapon. It's just really hard to compare this card to cards like 4 Drachma Coin, which is S tier, and Denarius, which is S tier. And when those cards come down, you're drawing 4 cards. And this card comes down, you're like, oh, I draw a card and get a weapon and wait next turn and attack, draw a card. It's just like takes so long to fully realize its value. And I'm going to put this also in C tier. I'm just not impressive. It would be nice if Eleazar was like activate for David when he attacks, but no, you have to get it into your hand and then wait a whole turn to activate it. So it's just clunky. Ira. If equipped, you may paralyze an evil human this turn. You may take an OT purple warrior from deck or a good OT enhancement from reserve. I do like this card. I like how he can get rid of a problematic evil character sitting in the territory. So if you pair this card with 20 shekels, very good. The fact that he can grab stuff from reserve or warriors from deck means he's good on turn 1 or turn 2 when the reserve opens up. Yeah, I like this card. I feel like paralyzing evil characters in territory is really strong, but this guy's by no means S tier. Reminds me of a worse version of Mary. I'm going to say it again, but I can't help it. I'm a nativity player. I have to compare everything to nativity cards. I do like this card more than these guys, but he's just going to be B tier. I think he can cut it with the Gospel of Christ stuff running around. Naharai the Beerithite. You may draw 2, where X is the number. You may draw X, limit 2, where X is the number of your purple OT weapons, or negate an evil card. You may bounce a weapon in a territory and equip an OT purple weapon. Okay, so this guy does do give the purple deck some speed, but it's like maybe it's like a win more speed. By the time you already have your weapons out, you're already going to be doing good. When you want your card draw, that's when you don't have any weapons. You want to try to draw into them, and you can only draw 2 once you get your weapons out. So it's like it's nice you have the option to draw or negate a card if you can't draw. So that's nice. Second ability says you may bounce a weapon in territory and equip an OT purple weapon. So this is the one where I'm just going to say I have no idea how good this is. I'm just going to say I have no idea how good that is. Maybe there's this insane combo that I'm missing with some of these weapons where you can bounce a weapon, I don't know, equip another weapon, but on paper, it just doesn't seem like that would do anything. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I don't know. I'm just not impressed. I don't want to use that word all the time, but he's great for initiative. So if you have a purple battle winner you're really wanting to slam down, I could see this guy being a bit better because of the strength of some of these purple enhancements that are running around, especially the ones from Roots where they can take away evil cards from your opponent's hand. So if you attack with him, get low initiative, play some of your purple battle winners, that could be good. I could see that being good. So because he has good stats, I'm going to put him in B tier. All right, Helez the Helltite. Oh gosh. You may draw 1 or discard an artifact while equipped. OT enhancements used by this card cannot be negated. And I could see how this card could be good. I could see a scenario where you're just having this guy put a spear on him or something, attacking, have your interrupt the battle winners. I could see it. I could see a world where this is good. But I don't think the defensive world we're living in, I don't think defenses are trying to go toe to toe with battle winners. Like, I don't know how good the enhancements used by this card cannot be negated. Like, white has access to Mordecai, and Mordecai hasn't seen much play. And if Mordecai isn't seeing much play, like how good is a card that you have to jump through more hoops in order to play, you know? I'm gonna put him in B tier. I mean, I do like the fact that he can snipe artifacts, and that's really welcome. But no modifiers. Like, none of these cards have modifiers on them. It just makes him it's just another reason to kind of put him on the lower on the pegs here when you compare them to other heroes that have modifiers. Modifiers are really important. Cannot be interrupted, cannot be prevented, cannot be negated. If a card doesn't have these, it makes it a lot more likely something's gonna go wrong if opponent plays a 3 woes at a wrong time or something. So you may feel like I'm kind of scoring these all really low. I'm just trying to give me my reasons. Benaiah, here's a go. Cannot be negated. Yeah, if equipped. While alone, negate enhancements except good weapons and other characters. So I actually like this card a lot. It's a type of card that actually does something when you don't have a weapon around. The only thing that you don't get is the CBN part. So this guy's good without weapons. He's really good with weapons. I just like the art. This guy's great. That's exactly what you want. A 10, 12 battle by the numbers. This guy's going to make a lot of people happy. I'd probably put this guy in A tier. 24 Elders from Revelation of John is a great card. I don't see why this card would not be a great card. He's probably one of the best battle by numbers heroes we've seen. The fact that you can give his battle by the numbers CBN is really powerful. So if there's anything that can take this Warriors defense and move it to the next level, it's probably going to be Benaiah, and just attacking with him over and over and over again, hoping your opponent doesn't have any answers to that. So I could see him being S tier for purple. It's just like he doesn't play well with the rest of the theme. Like, all these guys want to be in battle with each other or a big banding chain. This guy kind of reminds me of like Daniel Michael, and you're just trying to attack, get Daniel Michael together and then attack and hope the opponent doesn't have an answer to that. And if you pair this card with cards like Buckler, it's a nice way to get him out early and also protect him if they do have a CBP battle winner. So yeah, I like that guy. All right, Abiezer the Anathanite. While equipped, protect this hero from evil enhancements. May ban to OT Purple Warrior. Trying to think if this guy's B tier or C tier. Probably C tier, which is fitting because they all look the same. Now I'm trying to verbalize why I put it in C tier. No modifiers, no card advantage. It's an okay effect, protection from evil enhancements. But again, you need to equip him. And when you're choosing to equip him, you're choosing to not equip your other guys, like these powerful ones up here or these guys. And I agree that it will help you in the case if you're banding and you're attacking and the opponent scatters and you need a way to put your hero in battle. But I don't know if this guy's where you want to be for that. All right, let's keep it moving. Asahel. You may exchange this card with an OT Purple Warrior from deck or reserve. Weapon remains and equips to that hero cannot be negated. So yeah, love the CBN. Love how this guy can go get your best purple heroes. Love how he can get the reserve too. Yeah, this guy's great for purple decks. You can just put a weapon on him, swap him out. I'm pretty sure he'll be, if you're playing one of these purple warrior decks, he's definitely going to be in there. So A tier. Not S tier or anything, but I do like him just because he can get to Benaiah. He's only good because you can get to your good guys. If everyone else is bad, then I don't know. Adino says, while equipped, restrict evil dominance, may ban to Shammah, or you may take a OT purple warrior from reserve. So he's in the theme of these, like, what are they, brothers? I don't know. I like the restrict evil dominance part. Probably a little bit more relevant than negating characters or enhancements. So he has a slightly better ability than these guys, but it just seems hard to play a deck with. I don't know if you want to play a deck with all these guys in it. It's like you're gonna have to choose one to cut. If you're not playing these guys, then an argument for this guy seems kind of hard to make because of how well they synergize together. So it's like you either play this package or you don't. And I don't think the package is worth playing, you know, but I could be wrong about that. So I could see this guy being bottom B tier, top of C tier. I'll be conservative and put him on the bottom of C tier, or top of C tier, which is right there. All right, Joab, he has a purple and brown character, says you may draw one or discard enhancement of opposite alignment from a deck. While equipped, prevent the next enhancement of opposite alignment in battle. And the dream is you put him with Joab's spears, which can negate a card and discard an opponent's warrior. This guy's solid. He's not fantastic. He's just solid. I'm going to put him in the same tier as these fellows. Do you like to prevent the next? I don't know how relevant discarding enhancements from opponent's deck is, which I could see a world where it's great. Get rid of those scattereds. Get rid of those contagious fears. Get rid of all the enhancements that are trying to block you. And then once you've whittled down their evil enhancements, get to work, finish them off with Benaiah. So if there's a weapon that discards evil enhancements from opponent's deck, you could equip the weapon to Joab and just send them in there. And opponents, they don't really usually run that many evil enhancements to begin with. So they're going to be out of options, block you very soon. So that sounds kind of solid in theory, but a little slow. Sounds a little slow. The best decks in Redemption, in my opinion, are the ones that can accumulate a lot of resources, put down a lot of cards that make your opponent's strategy difficult, and then draw into their dominance. The dominance can be used to win the battle, because dominance are the most consistent way to win battles. So instead of trying to go this whole, I'm just going to discard all the evil cards out of my opponent's deck route, I think it's better to try and just play a strategy that can attack, draw cards, and then Angel of the Lord, Glory of the Lord, use your battle winners to prevent your opponent from even playing the evil enhancements in the first place. So I think he's good, but I think you can be doing better things. All right, let's go to the weapons. Joab's spear. I like how you can use this. If you have a big banding chain, you can hold on to this and then negate something. But I don't really like this. If you're forced to equip it to somebody and you attack, it's just not that strong of an effect. You're going down a card and it's just, yeah, best case scenario. Then they're going to be in battle and they're going to be blocking with a warrior. And then you're going to play a card and negates their thing, discards the warrior. Best case scenario. It's nice that this is also Brown Brigade too. So if you're playing Purple Brown Brigade, you could have Joab and Joab Spears. But I have a really high standard for enhancements. If I want to play an enhancement in my deck, it has to at least do a negate or interrupt, and it has to win the battle. Like that's what I want to be doing. And this can't really consistently do that. And I'm not a fan of cards that aren't super consistent. So I'm going to put this in C tier. I like how flexible it is, but I just don't think it's going to be good. Eleazar's sword, select up to one or two if used by Abiezer. Negate opponent's protect abilities, discard evil enhancement from a deck. I do like how well this weapon plays on just, you put this on a hero and push the hero into battle. Negating opponent's protect abilities is really strong. Discarding evil enhancement from a deck is also strong. So you put this on Joab, like I previously mentioned, this could be great. Could be great, but I hate to sound like a broken record, but it just might be a little slow. I'll put him in the same tier as Joab. The reason being, this card doesn't really do much if you need a battle winner and you have this card in your hand and opponent's trying to play battle winners and you're just stuck with this card. This card's really only going to be used to enable your warriors and powering up them as far as their weapons and their weapon abilities. David's Chariots, negate an evil card. If you have not used a draw ability this turn, you may draw two. I feel like there's going to be a tension between wanting to place the card down early to draw cards when you attack, or holding it and then hoping to negate something in battle. I like its flexibility. Kind of reminds me of Angel Chariots, but perhaps a worse version of Angel Chariots. Angel Chariots doesn't see that much play. It does see some play, but I can't rate a card that draws cards that low on the totem pool. But it's probably top of C tier, bottom of B tier. I don't know. Purple's looking for all the weapons it can get, and this is probably one they want to play. Gives them some sort of speed. I don't know. Abishai's Spear says draw one, discard a card from your reserves. You have to choose one of those or two if used by Abishai. It's okay. It replaces itself. That's what these weapons should be doing, bare minimum. They're replacing themselves, but I'm really looking for cards that get you ahead in the game. This card's not really doing a good job of that, and the effect isn't that that good either. It's like, I don't know how to evaluate these weapons, really. Adino Spear says select to 1 or 2 if used by Adino, draw 1, discard an evil character from a deck. Yeah, I don't know. Probably put the same tier as that. Just I wish I had a little bit better grasp about how good these purple weapons are going to be, but I'm just saying overall, not a fan. They don't win you the battle. They take up extra slots in your reserve and in your deck, and they're just kind of clunky, and they're cool looking, but they just don't do that much. I'm just gonna say it. Just gonna say it. I'm Refuge says protect OT heroes from the next evil enhancement played in battle. So this is both the weapon or a covenant. So that's the weapon side. Already we're doing about the same as Shammah, or I don't even know who, Abiezer. Yeah, it was Abiezer. And what is the covenant artifact side? Says reserve this card to take a card with David in the title from deck. So honestly, I could just see this being used as a way to get to David faster in non-purple decks. There's really good starts you can do with David. It's kind of cute how it reserves itself and you can get it back later with cards like Well for David or other of these. And it's an okay enhancement, and it involves music, so David's harp can get it. I'm gonna probably say this is S tier because of how consistent it can make decks. You can go I Am Refuge, grab Covenant with David, Covenant of David, go grab any site or good fortress from your deck. It's just like another way to get your Covenant of David out, or get your David Heart After God, or David's Harp. And all these David cards are great. It's just the purple cards. I don't know if you want to try the purple cards, but these cards with David in it, that's where you want to be at. So ironically, the best purple card is probably gonna be for a non-purple deck for II. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't want to sound so apologetic about everything, but I just don't want people to not like me because I disagree with them. Okay, so I'll buy the Forest. Discard all evil characters in battle, regardless of protect abilities if used by an equipped hero. It's kind of slow. It's kind of like the bare minimum I would consider for a non-interrupt or negate battle winner. I could see this coming in out of the reserve, but I don't see it being main deckable. Situationally good, but probably bad because it's too slow. And battles in Redemption aren't won by enhancements. Usually they're won by dominance and preventing your opponent from playing the game. So that's why I'm going to be C tier. Return to King. Love this card. I love the name of it. Let me figure out if I love it. It says negate a card. OT purple warrior may ban up to 3 heroes. We've seen a lot of these, like interrupt the battle, ban the 3 hero cards in Redemption lately. A lot of them in Roots. We've seen a lot from Gospel of Christ. We've seen there's just this effects everywhere. And I do like the effect in principle, because if you attack with a low initiative hero and they block and you play this card and you can ban in 3 or 4 heroes, you're going to be, I guess you can only do up to 3 with this one, but you're going to be accumulating a lot of resources if all your heroes are going to be drawing cards. This is nice because you can ban up to 3 heroes, so you can ban your opponent's heroes, which is great. They're usually going to have some sweet heroes around. I see this card being okay. I'd play it in the main deck. Do I think it's the best enhancement ever made? No, I don't. But I do think it's solid. And it has a sweet name. Harken back to Lord of the Rings there. But I think in purple, I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to figure out what your enhancements are going to look like. But it should probably be considering this one in your deck. Great Plunder says negate and discard an evil card. If used by warrior, you may draw 3 or take an artifact. Cannot be prevented. Ooh, oh yes. This is where I want to be at. It's almost like a reach of desperation. You do get that draw 3, which is really nice. Battle winner, you can use it to negate enhancements. You can just use it to negate evil characters and get rid of them. Having CBP is great. Yeah, this card is sweet. Card is strong. Yes, sir. I don't think I have anything much more to say about that. David's Stronghold. Do you like this card? Protect good OT warriors and weapons and territory from opponents. Your OT purple warriors cannot be prevented. So a lot of these warriors don't have modifiers, but the fact that this gives them all modifiers is great. A tier protects your warriors from harm in the territory. Gives them a great modifier too. I would say this is either A tier or B tier in the context of a purple warrior deck. All right, so that's purple. Shall we go on to green? I've been rambling for a little bit, but if you're still with me, here we go. Called to Prophesy says Unity Rescuing Heroes OT Green Prophets. So that means all your rescuing heroes in battle have to be Old Testament green prophets in order for you to play this card. It says banish this card to shuffle all cards in battle. If you do, you may end the battle to begin a new battle regardless of protect abilities. So this card And you can't help but compare it to Grapes of Wrath here. When I compare it to Grapes of Wrath, I love Grapes of Wrath because it's primarily used as a defensive dominant. If you're falling behind in the game of Redemption, you can use this to get a really sweet block off and just get rid of all your opponent's characters in battle. Or it can also function as a help. I've lost the battle as a on the offense. So I like how this card is flexible. It can be used both offensively or defensively. Albeit it's pretty situational. You have to be down on souls for it to be, or down or equal on souls. You have to be down on souls. You have to be down on souls for this card to be good, so to say. It can be used as a battle winner, offensively or defensively. Like, this card is strong, this card is flexible, this card is interesting. I'm just struggling here with, why would I want to play this card over all the existing other dominants? All these dominants in the game of Redemption are powerful, they're strong, and you really have to be strategic with which 7 or 8 you're going to be playing. This card, it's like, if you're losing the battle, you mean you're already in a bad spot. Yeah, that's not where you want to be at. This card it's basically says, if you're losing the battle and things aren't going well, or if you don't want your opponent doing something with their evil character after they've blocked, you can basically get rid of that evil character and your heroes and start a new battle. All right. I mean, this is good against foreign wives. Yeah, I'll give you that. This card is great against foreign wives. But aside from that, I'm just like, I don't know if this card's better than Angel of the Lord or Glory of the Lord. If you're playing Angel of the Lord and Glory of the Lord, plus Son of God, New Jerusalem, Son of God, Second Coming, 3 woes, that's 5 dominance. I don't know. It's just hard to justify this card compared to Angel Lord, Glory of the Lord. I'll give you the edge case that, yeah, this card could be great against foreign wives, whereas Angel of the Lord and Glory of the Lord, not so good in that situation. But I would say this card perhaps is even a worse version of Grapes of Wrath. Grapes of Wrath isn't seeing that much play right now. So as far as dominance go, probably a C tier dominant for me. It's gonna be a C for me, dog. Also, Samuel says, if put in play, look at the top 7 cards of deck. Take up to 1 green card. If opponent harms your green prophet, shuffle up to 1 evil card in a territory. Really cool art. And if you're playing a green deck, this replaces itself with a better green card. I don't think the shuffling up to 1 evil card in a territory is going to be that relevant. It could be marginally relevant, but if I'm playing a prophets deck, I probably want to be playing this card. Just give me to my great green cards fast. Yes, please. And Redemption's all about who can build the most consistent fast deck. And so decks playing House of Samuel, they'll be equipped to do that. Moving on. Man of God. Opponent may shuffle an evil card for hand. If they do not restrict evil dominance, you may draw 2. Now, this is the type of hero I can get behind. Drawing 2 cards, yes please. And then having a great effect, also yes please. If opponent has hand protection, this guy's just going to force them to not play evil dominance, which is great. Yeah, this card's awesome. I'd play him, especially if you can get him banded into battle. He's the type of card I love to play. Card that can accumulate these resources, draw you into your dominance, and stop your opponents from playing their dominance, which is just great. And also, if you think about it, if they go down a card, they choose to shuffle, and you go up 2 cards, this guy is going to be netting you 3 cards. So that's like pretty good. Cloak Terror. You may reveal opponent's hand to draw X. X is the number of evil brigades revealed, limit 3. If you do not, you may take a dual icon enhancement from deck. Cannot be interrupted. This guy's like a reverse Lying Prophet. Kind of cool. What are the stats on Lying Prophet? Is Lying Prophet a 3/5? It's a 4/5. Well, that would have been cool if they inverted it, but Lying Prophet's a great card. I know the Guardian tries to play this card in all of his decks, and I like how this guy can do something even if your opponent has hand protection. So if you are running some dual icon enhancements in your deck, this guy can still be somewhat useful, but dual icon enhancements aren't that great. I don't know why you'd be wanting to run them, but I like a guy who can have the upside of getting some hand information and drawing 3 cards. Probably not as great as Man of God, but he's solid. He's solidly B. Jehu, Message Bringer. Quite the self-portrait here. You may shuffle an opponent's evil or neutral card, accept a character, negate characters, accept good prophets, and int enhancements. Yeah, this card seems good. I think he's not as good as Daniel. He does a lot of the same thing Daniel does. If you're trying to build a deck that is just pushing Daniel and Jehu, opponent gets rid of Daniel, you'll have Jehu. It gives you more redundancy to that type of strategy, and the strategy is pretty good. I like the fact that he can snipe opponents' evil and neutral cards in territory, so that's like good against artifacts, good against fortresses, good against sites. Yeah, I can see this guy being good. Dreamers, prevent the next evil enhancement played in battle. You may take an OT green enhancement from reserve, cannot be negated. Not only does this guy grab your battle winner from your reserve, he also prevents your opponent's first battle winner. I like this guy. He can prevent a lot of the unsuccessful stuff going around, prevents cards that just end the battle. This guy's probably going to be either high A tier or low S tier. CBN is just icing on the cake. Cards like John the Fisherman, Zechariah the Silent. These cards have all proven to be great cards. And this card kind of seems up in that echelon of cards that you can just push, have some dominance to back them up, not be super scared about what your opponent's doing. And when you're out of dominance to protect and win the battles with, this guy can give you some great insurance against whatever evil enhancements your opponent might have stored up against you. So yeah, I'll put him in S tier. I'll be generous. Deborah, the Victorious. You may take a good OT card from reserve. You may draw 2 or exchange this card with the OT green human or a judge's human in territory. This card is free card advantage, and if you decide to not exchange her out, she gets to draw 2 cards. Up to S tier. She can net you +3 cards at a time, or +1 card for free, and want to exchange it with somebody else. Between Deborah and Dreamers, you're going to have great access to your reserve if you're playing a Prophet deck. So yeah, and especially if you're playing cards like Victorious Being, you can get to Deborah pretty quickly. Same with your Dreamers. You go Victorious Being into Deborah, draw a card, grab an OT good card from reserve, draw 2 cards with Deborah, have initiative in battle, play your battle winners. Like, it just seems great. So yeah, there's Victorious Being. If you didn't watch the last power rankings, Victorious Being was S tier. So Prophets have 3 S tier heroes. They're off to a good start, 2 A tier ones. And this is not even to mention what other Prophets are out there already in Redemption. And there's probably some other like S tier ones like Moses. You could build quite the Prophets deck, I feel like. So I feel like Prophets are pretty set on the hero side of things right now. But let's see if there's any more. Obadiah's Hidden 100 may ban to a single brigade OT human prophet, protect that hero from harm. I like this guy. I like this playing. I like playing this over just normal enhancements. He's kind of in the strategy, the camp of prevent your opponent from playing the game, use your dominance to win the battle, and when in doubt, try to mess them up with little effects like this. I would say this guy just goes pretty easily into any green prophet deck. I feel like S tier maybe might not be appropriate, but they're good. I think they're great. Samuel, Born of Prayer. You may look at the top 3 cards of a deck. Under deck up to 3. May ban to an OT green prophet. Cannot be negated. Okay, he has a judge and a prophet identifier. Judge is kind of relevant. You could play stuff like Judge's Seat. I don't know. Probably some other judge synergies. I like this card overall. Gives you a little bit of, you can stack your deck a little bit. If you're playing a lot of star cards, you can try to make sure the top of your deck is all those beautiful star abilities. He just like doesn't really do anything for you. If you attack with him and another hero, it's just like he's not helping you win the battle this turn, which is my only problem with him. I'll put him in B tier. Rebuking Emissary says if this card is discarded, you may discard an evil card, release any number of captured heroes, may ban to any number of them. Okay, what do I do with this guy? I don't think this is good. There's not a lot of capturing going on. If you're discarding your hero, like, oh gosh, discarding an evil card is not going to be that good. Okay, C tier. Let's move on. Retribution for Sin, negate and shuffle an evil card. If used by an OT prophet, you may take a good dominant from deck. So this is not as good as Amazing Faith or anything, but as far as what you can get for an enhancement, this is what you want. I'm just imagining you're having a negate war and your opponent has a bunch of negates stacked up. So you use this one to negate their first negate, and you grab your Angel of the Lord from your deck, and then you kill their evil character with Angel of the Lord. So, or play Glory of the Lord. So yeah, this card plays really nicely with the type of decks I think are strong. Ones that use dominance to win the battle. So yeah, I'm going to put that in A tier. That's definitely a card I want in my reserve or main deck. Truth told before truth, you may shuffle an evil or neutral card. Hero may ban to an OT prophet from deck or reserve. It's just too slow. It's just too slow. I'm sorry. It's just too slow. Probably even worse than Swallowed by the Forest. Probably even worse than these. I don't even know if I want it in my reserve. It's cool that if you can get this off, to ban to a prophet from deck or reserve, but the thing is, if you're shuffling an evil or neutral card, you're going to be putting them in special initiative, and before this card fully resolves, they have a chance to negate it. So if it said ban to a prophet, then shuffle, this card would be maybe S tier. The fact that the order allows their opponent to negate this card before you get the banned in. Unfortunately, going to have to place it in the derpy C tier. Foreseen by Samuel says you may shuffle up to X evil cards regardless of protect abilities. So for the same reasons I put Swallowed by the Forest, just a slow situational battle winner. I could see it being in the reserve to get rid of those foreign wives or whatever. But I don't think it's fast enough to be seen in main deck play. Do not be afraid. Interrupt the battle. You may shuffle a card except a dominant. If it is evil, maybe draw 2. A battle winner that draws you cards? Yes, please. yes, please. I like how flexible this is. You can just attack with a low initiative hero like Deborah, play this, shuffle away one of their fortresses that's giving you a hard time, draw some cards, and play like Angel of the Lord. So I don't know. This card's good. Card's where I want to be at. Probably not as good as Retribution for Sin, but yeah, I like this card. Intervening of Prophecy. Look at the top 7 cards. Take up to 1 good card if used by an OT prophet in your underdeck. Yeah, I like this card. If you have House of Samuel and Intervening Prophecy, it's going to be great. It's going to be good. Helps your prophet deck become really consistent. The fact that goes on the bottom is great. If you're playing Herod's Temple, you can always have a card underneath your deck. If you draw out of all the cards in your deck, I don't know. I think this card's good. Vow of Samuel says, reserve an evil card you play as enhancement, or if you use it as a covenant, says if an OT green prophet is harmed, you may reserve this card instead. It's not as good as Boaz's Sandal. I wish it would say like, you may discard this card to add a green prophet from deck to battle or something like that. There's just too many ways to negate this. It's really telegraphed. It's kind of slow. I don't think decks will. Maybe this is like a reserve card. It'll be a nice reserve bullet. Kind of like decks that want to play You Will Remain. This is like a maybe worse version of You Will Remain. So given that information, I don't think it's going to be played. But I could see it being played just because of how easy it is to get you your reserve. And if you have this plus Book of the Covenant plus You Will Remain, like I could see it. I could see it being good. All right, I'll give it B tier. Bonus round. Let's talk about these dual alignment cards. All right, we'll just go really fast with these ones. Long story short, I don't think these are any good. I think these are worse than any other enhancement you can play in your deck. And although you can play this as green or gray, it's just not good. It's just not good. They're just too slow and not powerful enough. I could see there being a green and crimson deck because there's now so many of these green and crimson dual enhancements. I could see an interesting strategy pop up where you're playing green and crimson and just relying on these dual aligned enhancements, but I don't think that's going to be a very good strategy. Yep, sorry, putting all these in D tier. And sorry, Promised Land, we already talked about Promised Land last video, but that's my tier list, if you can see it, for green and purple. Hopefully you don't disagree too much with what I have to say. It's okay if you do. I'll see you around next time. Bye.